or being an expert, being knowledge-based is different from selling t-shirts and jeans. So we're trying to provide information. We're trying to create influence. We're trying to move people towards making better choices in their lives, right? But we had to keep things fresh. So that's why I call it the 3-card Monty principle. You got to keep them guessing. Every email, there has to be a certain level of predictability, meaning I know when I open Donnie's email, it's going to be interesting. I have no idea what this dude is going to talk about. I have no idea. So that's good, because then if they say, I know what he's going to say today, they won't open it. They say, I know what he's going to say. Why am I wasting my time? So we got to keep people on their toes, as it were. So that's why we had to vary. It's one reason why we had to vary these different phases. We can't send the same email, or even like the same looking email 10 times or 20 times, or I would say even 5 times. We have to keep it different. So anyway, the IOC is what I call intense opportunity curiosity. So it's just my terminology for it, but basically it's curiosity. And I always suggest when having an event, especially when you're doing a short-term promotion, like a short time frame where you're promoting a webinar, it's a free webinar, free training or something like that. And you're probably going to promote for 2 weeks to 30 days. Then I really love starting the first 2 or 3 emails with what I call intense opportunity curiosity. So it really goes back. Everything starts from what you're trying to accomplish at the event, what you're ultimately selling at the event, and what you're going to be, I'll say, quote unquote, teaching, because you probably are teaching, but you should be selling at these events. And I'm sure you know that. So everything has to start from there. But we start with curiosity, or at least I start with curiosity, and encourage you to do the same, because, like I said, you had to keep things different. But one of the strongest things that you can do is really go and be intentional about generating curiosity. So there's a quote, curiosity is the strongest human incentive. I don't think that's been clinically proven, but the father of modern advertising said it, and I think it's basically true. And I also mentioned, so if you were at Black Millionaire Coach Live and you were listening, which is debatable, but I mentioned an actual clinical study where people were in a test, and it was a joke, or I can't remember exactly what. No, it was a magic trick. And they said, we're going to show you this magic trick, and then we're going to tell you how the magic trick works. And you had to wait 10 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever it was. Or I can give you an electric shock and I'll tell you now. And people were choosing, yes, you can give me an electrical shock. And there's another test where people were paying money to get the answer to the question, or rather to satisfy the curiosity about the trick. So the same thing is true in email. If someone is very curious, they're going to be taking action. They're going to be wanting to figure out what the next thing is, and you can leverage that to advance your cause in terms of getting people to sign up for your event. So, okay, this is just me talking. In these emails, there's going to, like I said, the first, it could be 1, it could be 2 or 3. You want to highlight a big opportunity or urgent problem that your ideal client is facing. And you got to tease that there's a unique way of playing and unique way of looking at it and taking advantage of it. It's not so much saying, although you can do this. And if you're somebody super famous or you have a really enthusiastic following, you could say, hey, I'm going to be in Chicago. Who wants to come? And people will come. People will sign up. They'll pay some money to do that. Or an online event, it may be, I'm teaching about how I, write emails. Some people will show up, but not as many as you'd hope for most of us. If you're famous, yes. If you're super, authoritative, people really are just crazy about you, then they'll do it without much additional incentive. But you gotta, and for most of us, we gotta tease it out. So anyway, talking about the event itself is not the main thing here. Generating curiosity is the main thing. All right, so anyway, I just made this as a note. Some of these emails, when I write them, they're very short, like frustratingly short, because that's how you get curiosity. The longer you talk, the less curiosity there is in general. That's all. That can be clinically proven. The way curiosity works is you have to have a little bit of information, but then the more you know, the less curious you are. So anyway, They can be very short. So I'm going to show you a pretty short one. They get shorter than this, and then one that's longer. The main point is to write about something unique enough or impossible sounding enough that you get people worked up. All right. So that also, well, I want to come back to this. This is actually in the wrong place. This slide is in the wrong place. Have you seen this? Anybody here in Las Vegas? Any of y'all? No. All right. Well, there's a real business in Las Vegas that you can join the Mile High Club. I guess that's what you want to, the polite way of me saying it. You can pay for it, you get in the plane, and you get to have a romantic plane flight. Let's say it like that. Anyway, this is actually, I think, in the wrong place. But yeah, I guess you could be curious about that, right? Let me show you this email. This is one that I wrote for a couple years ago now, 2020. But it's pretty short. I think it's 89 words. Pretty short. I don't have to read the whole thing, but let me show you this. There's an email about how some technological advancement is going to change the world and you can make a lot of money from it. So here's the thing. The subject line, what does it say? I guess there's a couple different versions. The next big thing from Google CEO. But it says, for years, Google CEO Larry Page has been quietly investing a fortune into a disruptive technology that will impact everyone on Earth. That sounds like a crazy thing to say. This thing worked like crazy. It worked like crazy to get people at this event. Now the word's about to get out. So you see right here, the Google CEO, for the people in this audience, they know Larry Page. They believe Larry Page is intelligent. And when it comes to making money and investing in things that are technologically, on the forefront, or on the cutting edge, he's the kind of guy who would know. And he's got the money to invest in. He's secretly doing it, right? Quietly investing money. And this is technology that's going to really impact everyone on Earth. This is a fun promotion, but it's a secret. Word's about to get out, which means this is urgency too. I need to find out about this before everybody else does so I can make money from it. So anyway, during this event, on this date, I'm going to reveal what the technology is and how it can hand you life-changing profits. So not only is this curiosity, but it's like, it can make you a lot of money, hypothetically. You get your seat here. And then because at this time, everybody was talking about 5G in the PS, we said, it's going to replace $1.1 trillion industry. It's not 5G. You won't find this information anywhere except at this event. So you see it's short. There's just enough intrigue here to make somebody say, I don't know what that's about. But I haven't given you anything to work with except what it's not. It's not 5G. You probably have no idea what Larry Page is doing. So anyway, this, and they can be shorter. I've written some that are very short, but you see how there's curiosity there. Now, this is for, I'm going to make sure you guys get these slides just in case, but you could write an email that's something like this. So you would have some sort of credibility piece up in the front. It could be, for years, Donnie Bryant has been, secretly controlling Americans' minds and making them buy things online. And now he's about to reveal what it is. Now, if anybody knew who Donnie Bryant was, nobody does, then, someone would say, oh, so Donnie's his secret's gonna get out. Very cool. I want to know about this. But you could do something similar. Tease about an opportunity that is emerging, and it can make you a whole lot of money if you get in on it early. Okay. So I have a longer one. Let's just get right to the point. This is a different investing event, also an online thing, also free. But this is also something that you could use for yourself. So again, you can take notes if you like, maybe you should, but you're going to get these things later. But this opens like this. Imagine opening your brokerage account for only a few minutes a month. And every time you log in, your positions are less risky than they were last month, until eventually it becomes impossible to lose money on them. This is impossible, an impossible thing. As far as anybody knows anyway, it's like, how is it possible for me to have money in the stock market that I can't lose? There's a way to do it, but no, almost nobody knows how to do it. It doesn't work every time. But my client had a system that worked to do that. So the idea is, the people who are on this list they invest. Most of them lose money a lot of the time. And some of them lost a lot of money. So this is making them curious. How is it possible that I can have money in the stock market, even if you had money in the stock market today, regular stocks that you own? You had $100 yesterday and you got $95 today. And tomorrow you have $80, whatever happens. It's the risk is always there. So we found a way to say, here's what's possible. You can actually make it where that doesn't happen. So then not only is it reducing your risk, but it can give you what I got here, triple digit returns. So also most people when they invest, unless they invest for their whole lives, like, you bought stock when you're a kid and then you hold it until you're 80, you may never double your money, which triple digits is double your money or more. So it's also unlikely, it doesn't happen all that often. So when we say here, you don't have to imagine it. I have a proven trading method capable of doing just that. And then we prove it, kind of prove it. I mean, this is not proof, but it's examples of what we've done that also these examples also seem really hard to believe. This particular instance, you could have made 1,606%. It's a lot, right? Ignore all the noise about trade wars. So in this particular time, again, the stock market was going up and down, a lot down because of, trade rumors of trade wars and tariffs and all this stuff. So there's that. You don't even have to worry about that, and stop worrying about your portfolios no matter what the market is doing. You only have to think about your position once a month. So again, most investors, they think about it every day. Well, I shouldn't say most investors. The people we were talking to are a little bit more active, so they were thinking about it every day, looking at the market every day. And we were trying to tell them, when you do this, you don't have to worry about your portfolio. You don't even have to look at it except once a month, which is when you go in there really to take some of the risk off the table. So you've never seen anything like this. You got impossible statements, you got big benefits, you got secretive methodology. And then, hey, come to the Stressless Trading Summit and we'll tell you how it works. So what I was going to say here is you can have curiosity like this. I know I'm a copywriter, so this is what I do all day, every day. But for you who's running your business and making all these millions of dollars, right? How do I spend time coming up with these points of curiosity? And some of you probably already know you have some ideas about what you could use, and some of you may not. So I just gave a couple things. If you think about what your industry norms are that your audience knows about, and you can show them something that breaks from the norm or does the opposite, you can make them curious about that. If you know what they believe, what they've experienced in the past, and what they kind of expect on the horizon, and you can show them something different from that, there's something to be curious about. Especially, if you're talking about experiences weight loss is a great example. I've done 18 different diets and 10 different exercise programs, and nothing works. So they're jaded. It's going to be really hard to make them make them curious because they've seen it all before. So you got to think of something that they haven't seen. But the 5-minute abs kind of thing, or shock your belly fat away, whatever. These sort of things, you have to come up with something that's totally different for them to even pay attention. So that's why every time you're paying attention, there's a new thing. Even an established business like Weight Watchers have to change things every once in a while to get curiosity back, to get people to pay attention. And for people who said, I tried Weight Watchers before, it didn't work. Well, suddenly now we've done something different, and now it's probably going to work for me. Or maybe it'll work now. Maybe I can stick with it now. So anyway, if you know what their beliefs and experiences are, you can show them something different and get them curious. And then also, of course, what you do that's truly different, truly unique from what everyone else in your industry does, or if you really don't have any peers, just something that's totally unique in the experience of the people who you're going to serve. If they think nobody can solve this problem, and you can talk about how you solved it, you're unique automatically. How do they fix that? So you'll be doing good if you can do that.